Hi, I'm Sean Waterman and you're watching FedScoop TV. Today we're at the 6th Annual Mobile Government Summit and I'm joined by Greg Clifton, who's the Director of DoD and Intelligence for Intel. Hey Greg, thanks for dropping by.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, can you talk about your work with government agencies and innovation? What's the most important thing that they're doing to innovate with mobility, and how are you helping them?
Yeah, sure. So one of the most important things that the DoD in particular is doing right now is their mandate to move to Windows 10. They're on an accelerated pace. They want to adopt, deploy, really by the beginning of 2017. So it's aggressive, although I think it's very good, and I applaud them for what they're doing, because there's certainly some security enhancements that they're going to get out of this. There's quite a bit of refresh, so they've got systems that are 4, 5, 6, maybe even older out there that they're going to refresh and get much better performance, enhanced security, manageability, better battery life. So a lot of goodness that's going to come out of this move. You know, we spent a lot of time working with the department to help them understand what in their fleet of systems will support Windows 10 today and what they do need to refresh. So a lot of hardware features, things like virtualization technology. There's a UEFI firmware version 2.3.1 with Secure Boot. It's a mouthful, right? But there's some other components in there that are critical in order to run some of the key features of Windows 10. They get the security they want, device guard, credential guard as an example. So we've spent time there, and it's going well. I think they're doing well, and they're moving out quickly.
And what about data? How are you helping them with the tsunami of data that's coming into agencies now?
Right. So fundamentally, Intel is a microprocessor company.
Right.
So we make processors that go into servers and PCs and IoT devices. And we're going to innovate and continue to innovate like we've always done in terms of our Xeon and our Xeon Phi line, network interfaces, solid state drives, all the things that are the infrastructure to help you crunch data faster. So we're moving on in that space. Now, one of the areas that we believe that agencies really should be investing is in their drive infrastructure, so solid state drives. That's an area, these new capabilities compared to spinning disks, and in particular some of the non-volatile memory express type drives, and as we come into next year, some 3D crosspoint technology that Intel's rolling out. We're talking 1,000x performance. So when you compare that, you look at the mean time between failure and the uptimes, the reliability of solid state drives compared to spinning disks, and you look at just the power that it takes inside of the data center or even in your device to run a spinning disk versus a solid state drive. Major innovation, major performance gains, and when you start moving that data back and forth and trying to crunch it, we see that as a huge enhancement.
And I mean, what's the next step with those solid state drives then?
Yeah, so we're working on technology, as I mentioned. It's called 3D crosspoint technology, and it'll be branded in the market as Optane. And this is that next order of magnitude type leap where it becomes less expensive, your capacities go up significantly, and your performance goes up. I was talking about some of that data, 1,000x performance. Somebody equated that if you and I were traveling from San Francisco to Shanghai, it would change it from a 10-hour trip to a 1-minute trip. Just imagine how that would change your life. And the same kind of innovation is coming into the data center with this technology. And it'll be in drive form factors, memory DIMM form factors. So really changing the game in terms of how we compute, how we architect those systems, what you can do in the cloud, what you can do in the Internet of Things. Very interesting stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what other areas are there fertile for innovation in mobility that you're working with?
Sure. So I talked about Internet of Things, connected things, Internet of Everything. Everybody kind of has a different name for it, right? But at the end of the day, what we're doing is enabling all these devices and these sensors that collect data, send it, do something with it, collect that data, process it, provide some analytics out at the edge so you can get decision making, situational awareness sort of out at the point of the data rather than all that going back into the cloud. Now some of it will go back into the cloud. It'll be workload dependent, right? So a lot of innovation there with gateways, a lot of work to do in terms of standards and data interoperability and tagging so you have context with that data. But Intel's working with the ecosystem of partners, working with the government on some of these standards to help in that area. Another piece is wearables. So you're wearing glasses here in a couple years. You'll have a camera embedded in there and a lot of other interesting technology that's going to enable, certainly from a mission perspective. Think of somebody in an airport who's walking down there and may have a camera in his glasses, and he can do facial recognition and do real-time processing. Think about first responders, firefighters, police. Police are wearing these body-worn cameras today. Think about warfighters as you're connected, and you've got, it's sort of the piece of the movies and video games. You've got the exoskeleton. All these things are connecting. You're able to connect with your squad, get situational awareness, just open up all kinds of ways that you can share data and really process your mission more effectively because you have the ability to crunch all this and get real-time data.
Oh, that's fascinating. Thanks so much.
It is. It's a very interesting space.
Okay.
So, thanks so much, Sean.